What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode. It's episode number 5. As always, loads to get through today as we'll play the remainder of the January transfer window. We should make one or maybe two more signings, more games in the Bundesliga, aiming to keep our European hunt alive, and we'll have the DFB Pokal quarterfinal at home to Eintracht Frankfurt as well. Let's get to it. Although my first order of business is to sort out the release clauses we still have active right now. So of course a couple of players have left on cheaper deals that we possibly could have got due to release clauses, and there's a couple of players here that I'm quite nervous about maybe getting poached by other clubs, including of course the club captain. So I'm going to give a new contract to Ngumu to get rid of that release clause first. He's come off the bench in a couple of games and looked good with the pace he's got down those flanks. I'm going to give him a new deal and remove that release clause. I'm going to do the same with Lucas Ulreich as well. This is a really good young talent that Mönchengladbach signed from Hertha Berlin, so give him an extra bit of money in order to remove that very low release clause. He doesn't get poached away by a big club. And of course Rocco Wright as well, made him captain after selling our captain in the summer, and he has been Mr. Consistent, played every single Bundesliga game and one of our 3 cup games as well. So Rocco staying, and Ngumu staying, and Ulreich staying as well, crucially with those release clauses being removed from the contracts. Actually thinking whilst I'm here as well, I might promote my other Belgian talent in the academy. That is Jordan Kuipers. He's got great potential, an excellent pace as well, and you know, this is one of my biggest tips for youth players. When you see a player that's 17, whatever you do, don't leave it until the end of the season, because there's a very good chance they will ask for a pro deal, and as we know, when that happens come the end of the season, they'll lose a lot of potential for the new season, as EA will perceive them as not getting any game time for a whole season, even though they just got promoted. So if you have any 17-year-olds in your academy whatsoever that you're quite keen on, definitely get them in the first team and loaned out as soon as possible. Right, first game today, let's jump into it on the back of our loss against Bayern Munich. Currently 3 points behind Borussia Dortmund, and after this game we'll be the official halfway stage of the season. I've said it before, man, Champions League, even though we're right next to those places, not thinking about it much, and heading into these games here, I'll just take a point to keep us in those Europa and Conference League contention places. Wolfsburg, our first game today. Definitely thinking, you know, that Europa League position where we are right now, 5th. We can hold on to this for sure. I think it's going to take a brilliant finish by Svanberg. It's going to take a really good second half of the season to follow on from the first half. And as we know, the cliche, football is a game of 2 halves, as are seasons. Oftentimes we'll see a team have an amazing first half of the campaign, then drop off in the second, or sometimes the other way around. And that's what I'm fearful of. We had a really good first half of the season, all things considered, but can we do that again? Can we repeat it in this second half of the season? If this guy stays fit and in form, we'd have a chance, cleared away, and corner prevented. Yeah, form is so OP, as we know. So if we go on like a 3-4 game loss streak, we're going to be in trouble, because we won't have the quality to claw ourselves out and back from that, you know. So as Robin Hack does well. Oh, brilliantly done. Strike it. Oh, what a goal. And who else but Mario Strikens. This guy, man, is absolutely class. Love him so much. I called him the Belgian Kaka. That was beautiful. Off the ball movement. Looking like that Brazilian back in his prime with AC Milan. Great back heel, great finish. Mönchengladbach on level terms. Talked about this a couple episodes ago. It's that awareness and the anticipation of knowing what you're going to do before you've got the ball in your possession. Mario Strikens with that run, he just saw the empty space. He's on it, he's in there. And it's a great finish as well once the ball does come to his left foot. So that kind of awareness, you can't really teach that. You know, you've got it or you don't. And Mario definitely does. As Skov Olsen is denied. I mean, to be fair, you probably can improve it, if you will. So I shouldn't say you can't teach it. I mean, you can improve it. But it takes time, you know, to develop an instinct. I mean, the clue's in the name. It's an instinct, you know. But to develop one and to improve it, it's doable. But some players just have that naturally, and some players need to work on it. Mario's definitely got it as he takes charge of that ball there, offloads to Luca Netz. And you know I'm looking for him, and why wouldn't I right now with the form that he's been in all season long. Mario Strikens gets round 1, gets round 2. It's a wonderful run from Mario! Strikens! This dude is an elite superstar in the making. What a baller! Look at this man, 1, 2, runs through, finish as well. He's the complete package, and I wouldn't swap him for any other under 21 player in the league right now. He's the best of the bunch. As Mönchengladbach coming from behind to win once again, not for the first time this season. Looking like the Indiana Pacers out there with these comebacks. And it's once again provided by Super Mario Strikens. We'll keep our European hunt alive, and I'll say this as well, if we're not playing European football of any kind next season, it'll be a one and done for this wonder kid in the making. He's too good not to be playing European football. As you check out Mario's stats here as well, absolutely incredible, man. 10 goals and 5 assists in 16 games. This dude is a certified wonder kid. You know, sometimes people ask me, Doxy boy, why do you always keep your players on balance? Why don't you use development plans in the squad hub? And the reason being is very simple. If you put those players on development plans, no matter which one you choose, they are always going to increase their skill moves or their weak foot, and over time that means they're always going to end up with 5-star if you keep flipping the development plans. And you might think, well, what's wrong with that? Well, nothing really, but it is unrealistic and it is a bit easy and a little bit silly knowing your whole team from the left back to the striker can have a 5-star 5-star used to be a unicorn. When you get a player like that, it was unbelievable luck. Now you can turn any player into a unicorn with those development plans. My opinion is that EA should remove that and get it back, well, not get it back, but get it to a point where skill moves and weak foot can improve, but only by a maximum of 2 each. Anyway, following game, let's jump into this one. It is Bayer Leverkusen champions 2 years ago away at the Bayer Arena. The first game of the season we had was a 3-0 drubbing by these guys at Borussia Park. It's safe to say we've recovered brilliantly since then, with them chasing the championship and us right now being what you call an inconsistent team in the league. I would certainly just take a point in this game. Off to the Bayer Arena next, Leverkusen away. Wow, I have to say, still tied at 0-0. Not a great game here. Leverkusen have had a lot of what you call half chances. Other than that, we've been dealing with them quite comfortably when coming forward. Is he on there, Honorat? He is! Honorat! For the lead! Oh, straight at the keeper! When you're an underdog and you're away from home, you've got to take a good chance if you get one, because you may only get that one. Either side of the keeper, that's probably 1-0. Fluff blinds. And from that, Leverkusen come forward in a game where I've kept them quiet all game long. If they get in front here, I'll be fuming. Hoffman does just that. Come on. That's the difference, man. You've got to take your chance because you know they'll take theirs. Yeah, this is why we can't be a Champions League team yet and get into the top 4, because we can't beat the teams in the top 4. We can beat your Heidenheims, we can beat your Colognes, we can't beat the Leverkusens and the Bayerns and so on and so forth. Back-to-back defeats against Leverkusen. We're a long way off this level, let's just be honest. So, quick Cologne agreed. That is Klaasen's off to Real Oviedo. We'll keep our eyes on him there in Asturias for a couple of years. Hopefully develops quickly, because he'll need to have any chance whatsoever of displacing Strikens in this team. Let's jump into our following game as well. Back at Borussia Park for this one, taking on FC Cologne, newly promoted of course. This is the team we got our first win against this season at the Rhine Energy Stadion, aiming to beat them back-to-back and get a big 3 points here to keep our European charge alive. Cologne at home next. Right after the restart, really poor game. It's just like our trip to the Bayer Arena, very little going on. I think we're just a bit tired really. We had quite a few games in this January period directly after the winter break, and as that shot is easily caught by Nicholas, we could do with a couple of weeks off really, even though we've just had that winter break. I've always been someone who's kind of like on the fence about winter breaks. I mean, I definitely do see the purpose. I definitely do see the advantage to it. Whether, oh, that's a great tackle. Whether I agree with them, though, being the best thing, I'm not sure, because ultimately you've still got to squeeze the games in anyway after the winter break. That means there's less time in the calendar to put the games in. And not only that, oftentimes teams on a winter break will play like a mid-season friendly anyway, which means that there's not a total amount of rest period, even though it is resting from competitive games. Anyway, FC Cologne in front through Sinayoko. And I just said a moment ago there against Leverkusen, we can't beat your Bayer Leverkusens, we can't beat your Bayern Munichs, we can't beat your Leipzigs. So if that's the case, we've got to win these games to have any chance of European football. Losses in these games is simply put not going to get us into 5th or 6th place. Cologne in front, and it is going to be 3 defeats in our last 4 games. So, just to read a couple more loan deals, Kuipers, he's got the showing great potential tag out on loan back to Belgium with USG for a couple of years. I've loaned out a Japanese striker in Copenhagen. I don't know if this guy's got any potential at all, to be honest, but only 20 years old, needs some game time. Not going to get it here, so we'll take a look at him in Denmark. Deadline day is here, just under 17 mil in the budget, and no doubt about it, on this really poor run, we've got to make a new signing. So I did say I want a new backup right back. The Joe Scally has been sold, but Kiriani Sabi, my number one target, has been signed by Marseille, so I'm going to leave him there at the Velodrome. I have this thing where, like, if a player has moved on in a transfer window, I can't sign him in the same window. It's just not going to happen. But there's a few midfielders I'm quite keen on, to be fair, including this lad right now at Werder Bremen. That is Sene Leinen, who could be a really decent holding midfielder with good passing and defensive stats as well. Nicholas Dorsch right now with Heidenheim at 27 years old. Probably going down. We could rescue them from the sinking ship and bring him here. But I'm quite keen on a couple of lads in the 2-Liga right now, including this guy, Kaspar Jander at Nuremberg. And one of the reasons I'm quite drawn to this guy is because he's got a 4-star weak foot, he's got 83 stamina, he's quick off the mark, and technically he's pretty solid. And I could see this guy being converted to a right midfielder, or possibly even a wing back on the right, or maybe even left hand side with the 4-star weak foot too. A decent utility player. Let's go bring him in. It's one of my biggest tips when managing a club with a small squad. When you're making new signings, look for players that can play in different positions, so you know if you have an injury crisis or you've got tons of midweek games coming, you've got a player that can fit in at left back, right back, CM on the flank, or wherever it may be. And I think Kasper could definitely do that role for me. Not the most versatile player I've ever seen, but a decent young talent that also shows great potential as well. And this could be a really good steal for this Mönchengladbach team. So coming in on a valuation transfer fee on a 5-year, 15 grand a week deal. Welcome to Borussia Park, Kaspar Jander. Yeah, don't know much about him, but 6 foot, shows great potential. And you look at the technical stats here, really, really solid with the 83 stamina and that bonus 4-star weak foot as well. This could be a bit of a hidden gem for this Mönchengladbach team. Really smart signing. And that might actually do it for transfers. You know, we've only got 3 players in the resis now, so it's an incredibly small squad. Any kind of injury crisis, and we are in trouble. But I trust the team, and again, the advantage is we're not playing European football. We haven't had any injuries during the season at all. We're definitely going to get one at some point. And as Monza put in a bid for Borges Sanchez, I would have been totally fine loaning him out. But I can't afford to loan anyone out. That's the problem right now. We've still got a couple of decent youngsters here that I'd like to get more game time to. But look at this squad. It is ridiculously thin. So I can't afford to lose anyone else. I think I'd better bring in just one more player for peace of mind. What I want to do is bring someone in that won't cost me too much money for a transfer fee or be on an inflated salary like Del Prato there, or bringing back Jordan Bayer. Way too much money on right now for what we can offer. But to be fair, I mean, we just signed one player from Nuremberg. Why not bring one of his teammates as well? Because I quite like to look at this lad as well. Jens Kastrop right now with FC Nuremberg. Just like Kasper, I could see him being quite versatile. He's got great pace and 90 agility as well. Very nimble indeed with 81 stamina and technically too. Good pass through the ball with good ball control and dribbling as well. Yeah, Kasper looks good, Jens looks good, let's bring them both in. And in a very bizarre twist of fate, it turns out that this guy has already agreed to join Mönchengladbach in real life for the following season. Who says career mode can't be realistic, man? So, didn't realise that, nice coincidence, and we've got the man in that Mönchengladbach will get in real life as well. Unlike Kasper, doesn't have a showing great potential tag, but still does look like a decent talent at just 21 years old, so coming in for €3 million. What a steal on a 5-year, 12 grand a week deal. Welcome to Borussia Park, both in real life and in the save. Jens Kastrop. Yeah, turns out he's got dual nationality with South Korea as well. Very interesting indeed. And maybe he'll have the same kind of energy and tenacious hard work that my favourite football player of all time had as well. Also from South Korea, Park Ji-sung. Technically not the best, but physically really solid. I love that super high agility. Jens Kastrop in. Yeah, every now and then I get asked, you know, Doxy, who's your favourite football player of all time? No question, Park Ji-sung. Park Ji-sung embodied to me what team sport is all about and what life is all about. You know, you do what's asked of you, you fill in when required, you don't sulk when things aren't going your way or you're not getting chosen, and you work as hard as you can every single time. Park Ji-sung, man. The embodiment of football and life to me. So that's it for deadline day. And 2 new signings coming in, both from Nuremberg, and the top deals in the air were Tchouaméni joining Manchester United for €66.7 million. Not a bad deal there for a player right now in his prime. Zubimendi has left to London, but not to the Gunners. He's gone to West Ham, 52.2 mil. And Brian Mbeumo has also left Brentford and not to Manchester United. He's off to Turin for £43.5 million. We're a long way off making those kind of deals, but I'd say both signs we made there were really smart. Right, let's jump out of that and into the following game. First game outside the window, Stuttgart away from him, and this is a massive game as well. 3 losses in our last 4 games. We are now 9 points off Dortmund in 4th. We're not going to get back in contention for a Champions League place, but if we want Europa or Conference League, wins against teams around us in the table right now would be massive. Can't afford our 4th loss in 5th. Stuttgart away, one of the biggest games of the season coming next. Strykens needs a breather. I don't want him to miss out at the quarterfinal in the week, but he's already gassed. And we've still got 9 minutes to go before the break, man. He needs about 10 days off because he's been carrying us all season long, man. And as Joshua rolls it inside, Demirovic finds Enzo going through all the way for the easy finish. Season's beginning to unravel, and it's why I wasn't getting too excited about our start of the campaign. We're in the top 4. Getting there is one thing, keeping it is another. I couldn't see us maintaining for the whole season. We can't maintain it already. Remember the first time you came out to the house? You said you wanted a spotlight mine. But remember, anyone can get it. Oh, what a save. The hard part is keeping it. No doubt about it. Anyone can get anything, but to keep hold of it, that's a different matter altogether, man. And there was no way we were going to stay in the top 4 race. With the team we have, the lack of depth we've got, it just wasn't going to happen. And thus I'm not surprised that the fall-off has been on full display. What a save, Nicholas. And with 27 minutes to go, Stuttgart looking for the kill. Mönchengladbach have been flying high, but they were never going to stay up there. And as things stand, we are set for 5 defeats in 6 games, I think. Or is it 3 defeats in 4? Well, whatever the case may be, it's bad form. And it is going to be... another defeat here. Right in the corner, Enzo bags his brace. Nicholas probably could have done better, but to be fair, he just bailed me out a moment ago. Had it not been for him, I'd be 3 or 4 goals down. Game over, good night. Stuttgart with the win. And a massive blow in our hunt for European football. And I'll say it once again, this first season, it's the blueprint being laid down. If we can cling on to a Conference or Europa League spot, that would be great, but yeah. I have a feeling we're going to start falling apart from here. Right, let's do one more and we'll end on this. And this is definitely one of the biggest games of this season, with extra incentive now on the back of our really poor run in the Bundesliga. It's a qualifier for the Europa League and it's a chance to reach the semis of the Cup. But right now, out of confidence, out of form, star players out of energy, yeah, we'll need something special if we're to avoid knockout here in the last day. Eintracht Frankfurt last year, Champions League qualifiers in the Bundesliga, firm favourites to make it through as we aim to stop them and reach the semi-finals. Quarter-final against Frankfurt, our final game today. It's a brilliant season for Eintracht Frankfurt last year, finishing 3rd in the Bundesliga. Oh, what a ball. But tonight, this is cup football. Oh! And the cliche is that form book goes out the window when it's cup football. I don't necessarily agree with that myself, because players still feel it mentally, but golden opportunity. And if we're in form, we probably do take that chance. Been quite a few games without a goal for Kleindenst as well. He had a red hot start to the season. I think it was 5 goals in 10 or 11. Really good beginning. And since then he's calmed down and cooled off. And well, this is the game we can't afford him to be misfiring like that. He's a great forward in terms of the physicality he's got. He just needs a more clinical finish. Oh, once again I'm through 1-on-1 and missed the target. I say it all the time, when you're in form, no shots at the back of the net. When you're out of form, you'll be lucky to test the keeper. To be fair, we're doing all the right things in this game. We're looking great as well. Yes, Van den Busch, well in. Defensively, we're looking really solid out there, keeping Frankfurt at bay, not giving Ekitike a chance. And going forward, well, the only thing we're missing right now is a clinical finish. Oh my goodness, and I've missed again. We're getting closer. Twice we shot the ball wide, this time off the woodwork. All we need is a finish. Wender down this right hand side for Frankfurt. Looking to step past Luca Netz. Rolls it in. Oh, I don't believe it. All game long, I've been dominating, and with 34 minutes, we're behind with the only shot on our goal. Typical. I haven't got Mario on the bench either because he desperately needs a breather. And as Frankfurt come forward, Ekitike might be able to make it too. That's a brilliant tackle by Elvedi. And we'll get the danger away. But this is oh, wonderfully done. Hold on. And if I can't finish, what I need to do is round the keeper instead. Sometimes, if what you're doing isn't working, try something different and you might get the success that way. My finishing, I was going across the keeper every single time. Each time, did it in the back of the net. So try something different. Maybe a chip, or maybe rounding the keeper. And Gumi gets our deserved goal, and we're back on level terms. That is going to do it. It will be extra time. Tied at 1. We've been a far better team all game long, and we don't deserve to go out. 30 more minutes. Keep doing what we're doing, and I'm sure we'll find a winner and deservedly make the semi-finals. I feel confident. So nothing to report in the first half, extra time. Second half underway. We've had 3 straight defeats. And this is a game where we don't deserve to see it tick over to 4. We've played really well all game. Defensively as well, we've been brilliant in this game too. Other than one chance which Frankfurt scored from, we've been really solid. Kleindenst and Gumu for the win, shot blocked and turned behind for a corner. All we've missed in the entire game is clinical finishing at the other end. And if we can get a late goal here, that will surely be enough to see us win it. And it's, cleared away in the nick of time. It's all Mönchengladbach. I do not know how we haven't won this game, but instead, after 2 hours of football, we're going penalties. And for new viewers to the channel, you'll learn quickly my record on penalties is incredibly poor. I would say I win about 20 to 25% of my shootouts. And I don't think we'll be going through here. Based on momentum and the way we've played, we deserve to make the semis, but I'm not really confident on this. Spot kicks decide who makes the final 4. Well, I think that I'm going to be okay with my starting 5. I never really like to change it, to be honest, unless there's a clear player with a great finishing stat but a poor penalty stat. So I'm going to stick with the 5 that the boys have chosen themselves, and it'll be Stoger, one of our seniors, to take the first, and I've absolutely blown it. I thought I timed it perfectly, I didn't. Mario Götze gives Frankfurt the lead. I can't keep my composure. It's as simple as that. I just cannot keep my composure from spot kicks. Kleindenst does score to get us back on level terms, but Ginter, the skipper, takes the next. It's saved by Nicholas, and we're back to square one. But I've got to stay accurate, which we do. Zoom with the next. You ain't gonna let me down. No, you were never gonna let me down. And Mönchengladbach have the chance after 2 saves from Nicholas to make the semis, which we would deserve. Ekitike to take the next. And Nicholas is the hero! When we sold the club captain in the summer, I said no one is safe. Anyone can go if they want to. But I gave this guy the gloves. I said, you're my #1 this year. And he's come up big when we needed him the most. This season we've been the comeback kings on a couple of occasions in our league games. Can I call this a comeback victory on the spot kicks? I think you've got to give it to us, right? Absolutely blew it with my first penalty with Stoger. It went so far into row Z. I mean, honestly, it was closer to going out the stand than I think it was to hit in the back of the net. But Nicholas bails us out. He's the one that deserves the credit, even though I'm not giving it to him. And we are through to the semi-finals. So let's see who we got. It'll be either Leverkusen, Borussia Dortmund. Who was the other tie? Oh, Dusseldorf, who beat Freiburg, the only 2 Liga side remaining. And hopefully we'll take on them. It is going to be in the final 4 by Leverkusen in the semis. Done brilliantly well to get there, but I'm not sure we'll make it through them. But that'll do it today's episode of the Bundesliga career, guys. Big thank you for watching. I enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. So you'll have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next episode with more games in the Bundesliga on a barren run right now outside the European places, and desperately needing to get back to good form to get back into contention for a European place. And we should have that semi-final against Bayer Leverkusen as well. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.